Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is NORFAIZATUL binti Muhammad Nasir. Matrix number 264123. And I would like to start first our video presentation by briefing about the introduction, the mission and vision of a company, and the country screening of a company that we choose. After a series of discussion, our group have decided to choose Coca-Cola company as a company that gonna do exporting business, and the company that we choose that we're gonna do exporting business is the United Arab Emirates. Mission of Coca-Cola company in exporting business that they already decided is that Coca-Cola company aim to refresh the world, inspire moment of optimism and happiness. Lastly, to create a value and make a difference in the place that we all live in. While the vision of the Coca-Cola company in exporting businesses is, our vision is to craft the bond and choice of drinks that people love, to refresh them in body and spirit, and done in ways that create a more sustainable business and better share feature that make a difference in people live, community, and our planet. Many advantages when thinking of exporting to United Arab Emirates, because it is located in the center of Gulf country, Indian subcontinent, Commonwealth of Independent States (CIS), and Africa. The United Arab Emirates can benefit from the strategic position that allow it to have unlimited opportunities across a wide range of sectors. Since United Arab Emirates is a very strategic country to do exporting business, that's why our group have decided to choose United Arab Emirates as a country to do exporting business for our company. Many business opportunity can be profit from having the United Arab Emirates as the exporting company. With the company strategic location, will allow Coca-Cola to maximize to the fullness the exporting business there. Diverse economy which is continually growing and expanding, and also in United Arab Emirates there will be no communication issues as the English is widely used there and accepted as language of business. That is the reason why we think that UAE is a perfect country to do exporting business for Coca-Cola.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad IKMAL bin Sulaiman. My matrix number is 263344. I would like to present about product decision. Product decision is the feature of the company product types. First is product attribute. This give advantage that can bring advantage in a UAE market. They have many product line and product mix such as Coke, Coke Zero, Fanta, Sprite, and anything. So next is branding. Coke already known around the world, so they have no problem to export to UAE. Next is packaging. To keep and secure of the product, the packaging that Coca-Cola use is red color. Next is label. It's important to users see the information. Different country will use the different language. And the last is product support service. That's good to get a feedback from a consumer. And next, I would like to present about product specification. This is documented, and teams will understand where the product is going. Firstly is summary of the product. They have variety of product line and products mix. They have different price in a different country. Second is business case. They have to achieve the completion of the project. They must have SWOT analysis, such as strength, weakness, opportunity, and threatness. Next is user stories. This from the user experience about the product. Next is user personas. This the target of the segmentation in UAE. All product can use in UAE market because it's halal. Next is functional specification. How you see the appearance of the new product and its capabilities. The last is about product safety. First is Coca-Cola operating requirement, which is core, KORE. This to ensure the consistent quality from raw material into a complete goods and access to customer. Second is GFSI, which is Global Food Safety Initiative. This is all about safety in the company. include the ingredient used in the Coca-Cola, and safety in a production line. That's all from me. Thank you.
Export market selection. First, legal and political power. The company should choose the country that have a stable politics. In UAE, the politics in the country is stable in 2021 to 2025. Next, the economic and the financial power. The rank of UAE is in the first place from the 40 countries in the Middle East and North Africa region for the economy. The total value of export and imports of goods and service equal 161.8% of GDP. Beside that, the demographic power, the population of people in UAE is 72% of males and 28% of female. The product that bring by Coca-Cola mostly be enjoyed whether by males or females. The average of the salary for the people live in UAE is higher than the other country. And lastly, the social culture power. UAE is a country that the population is dominated by the Muslim, so the company must respect the custom that they practice. The Coca-Cola product has met the standard, and their product also meet the halal requirement and safe for the people to drink it. Market entry strategies is a planned distribution and the delivery method of goods and services to a new target market. The example of market entry strategy is exporting, licensing, franchising, and joint ventures. Coca-Cola has used the exporting method to export their product to UAE. The advantage of using exporting method is help to have a better knowledge of the market. Manufacturer has direct contact with the end user and retailers, so Coca-Cola can adapt his product to the changing needs of market. The second one is full control over the product. Have complete control over the product to be priced in the foreign market. The exporter can also determine the terms of sale according to the competitive trend prevailing in the foreign market. And lastly is a good reputation. Good quality products offered at comparatively lower price enhance the reputation of the manufacturer in foreign market.
My name is Muhammad AFIF bin Muhammad NOOR and my metric number is 264821. Okay, so my part is export entry mode and pricing decision. Okay, so what is export entry mode? Export entry mode is when a company has to decide which function will be the responsibility of external agent and which will be handled by the company itself. So in export entry mode, you have two types. There is direct export and indirect export. For the direct export is the manufacturer or exporter we directly sell to the importer or buyer located in the foreign market area. While the indirect export, the manufacturer or the exporter will use the independent organization, or we call it as IO, located in the manufacturer country. So our group or our company is decided to choose the foreign sales brands that is under direct export. Okay, so we are using the foreign sales brand to export our product to the United Arab Emirates. That is our chosen country. So why we are choosing the foreign sales brand is because we can lower the cost, and also we do not need to think about the marketing, about the warehouse to keep the goods. Okay, so for the next part is pricing decision. The pricing decision that our company use to decide the price of the product is penetration pricing. So penetration pricing is our product are setting at the low price in the foreign country, but our company need to export the product in the large quantity. This is to make sure that the costs are lower, and by that we can gain the profit. We are setting the price of our product at the United Arab Emirates is low because we want to make the people attract to buy our product. This is because we have made some research. The average price of sparkling drinking or carbonated drink at the United Arab Emirates is average about 250 to 3 Arab Emirate dirham. So we are selling our product is at 2.30 Arab Emirates dirham. So this will attract the people to buy our product and will create the competition among other brands.
My name Adam AZROY bin ROSLI, metric number 272490, will present about promotion and market communication. Is promotion. Promotion is used by organization or firms to communicate with customer with respect to their product offerings.
The importance of promotion in marketing. First, to increase the sales. Next, to maintain or improve market share. Also can create or improve brand recognition. After that, create a favorable climate for future sales. And then, to inform and to educate the market. Number 6, to create competitive advantage relative to competitors' products or market position. And last but not least, to improve promotional efficiency.
There are 6 promotional tools that can be used by the company in order to achieve their objective. First is advertising. Second, direct marketing. Number 3, sales promotion. Number 4, public relation and publicity. Number 5, personal sellings. And number 6, sponsorship. This is examples of self promotion. Will be used for short-term period, which is this is one of our company promotion for boost our sales in Christmas celebration. Our company will use sponsorship method. We plan to build sport arena in UAE country and name it as Coca-Cola Arena. This arena can be used for various type of events such as sport event, family show and corporate event.
In order to ensure market communication will be success, our company need to design market communication strategies, which is have 7 steps we need to follow. First, identify target audience. Second, determine communication objective. Third, design the message. Number 4, select communication channel. Number 5, establish promotional budget. Number 6, decide on promotional mix. Number 7, measure result.
This is example of alcoholic awareness campaign.
This is another example of our campaign in UAE market, which is health awareness campaign, which is will focus on customer that practice healthy lifestyle but still want to consume our product. Coca-Cola Life is one of our product that will use sweetness from natural sources. That's all from me. Thank you.
There are some of budget distribution costs of export policy can take to export Coca-Cola to UAE, such as forwarders of freight, trading houses, insurance for freight, and others. Firstly, forwarders of freight. Freight transport is a service industry that provides consultancy, administrative, and physical services to shippers in support of international goods movement. Trading firms are international trading bodies that promote the purchase or selling of goods by companies. Insurance for freight is the risk of significant financial damage if the freight is damaged or missing needs to be avoided by insurance. Figure 1 show the annual revenue and expenses that Coca-Cola spent. In 2017, the annual revenue that company get is $36,212 million, and the expenses that company spent is $32,476 million. In 2018, the annual revenue dropped until $34,300 million that company get, and the expenses there spent around $28,500 million. Lastly, in 2019, the annual revenue reached around $37,266 million, and the expenses that company spent is $30,202 million.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is IBRAHIM. My matrix is 268838. So, what's export financing is the first point. Export financing is a cash flow option for exporters. Export financing promotes the worldwide commerce of commodities. The seller agrees with the cross-border buyer payment terms. Thus, there is a concern with the cash balance. The seller ships goods abroad while the invoice is eventually received. Export financing helps firms supplying goods to another country to obtain access to operating capital before their buyers pay for the imported goods. In this part of the assignment, we will have a look how Coca-Cola finances their export to the UAE. So the next point is Coca-Cola has one of the biggest cash flows to run its operations in the beverage industry. Coca-Cola net cash flow from operations is very healthy at the present time. The present value of the company operating cash flow from sales is valuable at 9.47 trillion. Coca-Cola operations doesn't export big shipment to the UAE because it has a partnership with ALIF Group, which manufactures all types of Coca-Cola beverages. Instead, Coca-Cola exports some of its ingredients. So the last point is the Atlanta headquarters of the Coca-Cola Corporation produces condensed syrup and exports it to the Coca-Cola enterprises or another bottling partners like ALIF, responsible for the UAE and Oman.
My name is SYAFIQA binti RIDZUAN. My matric card number is 275350. So I will continue to explain about the export procedure and also process. As you can see, the picture above, it tells us about the procedure that will be happen in the export process. Next is the country identification process. In this process, we need to identify in which country we want to export our product. So once we identify the country, like my group, we choose UAE as the country. So after we choose the country, we need to acknowledge about the law and regulation that is practiced by the country. And after that, we should identify the country background in terms of their flow and their process, the required documentation that is needed while exporting our products, and many more. As we know, every country practice different law and regulations, so we basically need to understand one by one before we want to export to that particular country. Next is customers identification process. In this process, we need to know who is our customer are. So once we know our customer, the customer will actually order with us, and they will send us a purchase order. And after they send a purchase order, they will make payment, and after they make a payment with us, we will receive a letter of credit. And once we receive the letter of credit, we will proceed with the production, shipping, and the preparation of documentation and all. So once the letter of credit is received, we will proceed to the next stage. So this is the example of the purchase order and also letter of credit. For purchase order, it will be sent by the customer, and the letter of credit is the document that will be received by the Coca-Cola company. This is the document needed while doing export procedure. So the documents are country of origin, commercial invoice, cargo insurance policy, dot receipt, export inspection certificate, export license, bill of lading, consular invoice, and export declaration. Every document will be used in different purpose. So we need to actually prepare all the documentation so that we will not going to face any problems while doing export procedure.
Okay, my name is Farah Nadia binti RASHID, and my matric number is 262567. Okay, I will talk about the export risk, which is the first one is the first point is the Pepsi risk. Okay, the Pepsi just held 6.5 ounce, so that it have be take a risk for the company to export their their beverage to UAE. Okay, so as the years move by, Coca-Cola's piece of the overall industry gradually dissolved. So that it took 16 years for Coke to react to the Pepsi challenge by presenting bigger size from before and add additional 5 years prior to presenting to 12 ounce. Okay, so it can present predominant about Coca-Cola bundle.
The second point is the eating routine test, which is after 2 years, Diet Right Cola hit the market. So this time Coca-Cola respond rapidly. The next year, the organization dispatched TAP. So after a year, Pepsi react with Diet Pepsi. TAP versus Diet Pepsi. So you may think a line expansion of a renowned name, which is Pepsi Cola, would surpass another name with particularly zero significance. Okay, after 19 years, the year of Coca-Cola presented Diet Coke. TAP was surpassing Diet Pepsi by 23%. So then, for what reason would Coca-Cola present Diet Coke when it previously had the main eating routine Coca-Cola brand? Okay, so as it end up, Diet Coke could be one of its best ever choice.